At first glance, this stranger opens like an ordinary murder novel. There is a death, there is a perpetrator, there is a trial, a punishment is expected. But from the very first page, Camus leans in and whispers this. In this book, the issue is not what happens, but how a person responds to what happens. That's why the novel's opening sentence is not a statement of fact, but a moral violation. Mother died today, or maybe yesterday, I don't know. What is missing here is not information, not the date, not the hour. What is missing is a role. There is no grief in this sentence, no drama, no socially approved language of mourning. No, I lost her. No, I'm shattered. No, I can't bear it. And this is where, for society, the real crime begins. Because society does not teach what to feel in the face of death. It teaches how to perform feeling. And Meursault refuses to play that game from the very first line. That is why, in a sense, the novel is already over before it begins. Because Meursault is condemned before he ever kills anyone. For many readers, Meursault initially appears emotionless. This is a misreading. Meursault is not without feelings. He simply does not package his feelings with meaning. He is not evil, but he is not good either. He is not immoral, but he does not display morality. He is not rebellious, but he does not conform. What makes him disturbing is not cruelty, but his neutrality. When he learns of his mother's death, he does not cry, but he does not rejoice either. He is not shaken, but he does not turn to stone. He simply remains where he is. What happens at the funeral is not an act of disrespect. On the contrary, it is an excess of concreteness. He feels the heat, he sweats. The sun burns his eyes. The light pierces through his eyelids into his brain. He smokes, he drinks coffee, he feels sleepy. None of these are crimes, but all of them are indecent. Because for society, that is a moment where emotion, not the body, must take center stage. Meursault's body is present, but his emotions are not present in the correct way. And society does not forgive the wrong emotion. It forgives nothing but performed emotion. Meursault's mother appears very little in the novel, yet in the courtroom nearly everyone speaks on her behalf, because the mother here is not a character, she is a unit of moral measurement. What should a son do when his mother dies? He should cry, he should remember, he should feel guilt, he should glorify the past. Meursault never says he did not love his mother, but he does not prove that he loved her either. And for society, love that is not proven does not exist. The fact that he placed her in a nursing home is opened in court like a sealed file. Look, say that. He had already abandoned his mother. No one asks whether the mother was happy there. No one questioned whether she truly understood Meursault. Because the issue is not the mother. The issue is the son's role. And Meursault did not perform it. That is why Meursault is not judged for killing his mother, but for not mourning her. Society never tells you this openly, but it teaches it quietly. Even if you don't feel it, act as if you do. Because order does not care about the content of emotions, only their display. Meursault does not lie, he does not decorate his feeling, he does not attach meaning to pain. And that is why he is dangerous. Because for society, the most dangerous person is not the rebel, nor the one who asks questions. The most dangerous person is the one who does not produce meaning, because the person who does not produce meaning holds a mirror up to the system. Mary is alive, she loves, she swims, she touches, she loves the sun, she is at peace with her body, she is happy with Meursault because he does not lie. He lives in the present. He makes no plans. But at some point, Mary stops and she asks, "Do you love me?" This is not a simple question. It is a call to a social contract. Meursault's answer is honest. I don't think so. This answer is not cruel, but it is meaningless. Then he adds, "But if you want, we can get married." This sentence is a hidden clause added to Meursault's death warrant. Because for society, marriage must be the result of love. For Meursault, marriage is simply an action that occurs in the flow of life. Mary loves. Meursault exists. Society understands Mary. It does not forgive Meursault. Raymond is crude, angry, violent. He beats women. He lies. But Raymond has one advantage. He tells a story. He defends himself, justifies himself, produces excuses. Raymond's violence is familiar. Society recognizes it. It can name it. Meursault helps Raymond, but he does not judge him. And here the tragedy sharpens. Raymond's violence is less threatening than Meursault's indifference, because violence is understandable, but meaningless is contagious. Everyone in this novel speaks, but the sun does not, yet it affects everything. The sun is at the funeral, at the cemetery, on the stones, on Meursault's neck. The sun is at the beach, on Mary's shoulders, on the surface of the water. The sun is at the murder, on the knife, in the eye, behind the forehead, and even in court where the sun is absent, its presence is felt. Because the sun in this novel is not nature, the sun is causelessness. It symbolizes Meursault's inability to plan, to think, to answer the question why. Society demands a reason, the sun provides none, and so the court blames Meursault, not the sun. Here lies the novel's most disturbing void. The man who is killed has no name, no past, no story. He is simply the Arab. This is no accident. It reflects a world in which some lives are already invisible. The murder is not glorified, not dramatized, not aestheticized. The sun is scorching, the light blinds. Sweat fills the eyes, the knife glints. But what shines is not the knife, it is the sun. The trigger is pulled. Then again. His reputations become intent in court, but in the novel there are a bodily overflow. Camus diminishes the murder because the real crime, in society's eyes, has not yet begun. The Arabs that seems like the novel's center, but the center is empty, because the Arab is not portrayed as an individual. He has no voice, no inner world. This absence is deliberate. Camus strips murder of its moral drama and reduces it to take a naked event. That is why the killing is not born of hatred, ideology, or conscious evil. It presents the most disturbing possibility of modern life. Sometimes people die without any deep meaning, and Meursault's true crime is that he refuses to fill that void. There is an invisible bond between Meursault and the Arab. Both stand also at the center of the world. The Arab because he is invisible, Meursault because he does not conform. The Arab has no name. Meursault's emotions are disregarded. Both are incomplete in the language of the system, and so the death of one becomes the conviction of the other. The court does not judge the murder, it judges conformity. The prosecutor asks about the murder, whether he cried, whether he went swimming, whether he believes in God. The Arab disappears in between, because this is not a murder trial. It is a trial of moral performance. The real question is, why aren't you like us? As the trial progresses, time distorts. What happened matters less than the meanings attached to it. The prosecutor reconstructs the past, links the funeral to the murder, places cigarettes beside bullets, joins the sea and the grave in the same sentence, and produces a narrative. A man who didn't cry for his mother can kill another human being. This logic is false, but it is persuasive, because society cannot tolerate causelessness. Meursault does not speak, but this silence is not cowardice. He simply refuses to invent a meaning that does not exist. Not defending oneself here is a form of resistance, but the system does not read it as resistance. It reads it as denial, and denial is the gravest crime. The lawyer wants to save Meursault, but the path is clear. Show some remorse. But remorse here is not a feeling, it is performance. Meursault never steps onto the stage, and the defense collapses. Priest comes. He speaks of God, of hope, of the afterlife. Meursault listens, but does not join. Even this neutrality is unforgivable, because even before God, a side must be chosen. Throughout the novel, Meursault is calm, but with the priest he explodes. This outburst is not against God. It is against the imposition of meaning. The prince represents one idea, that everything must have a meaning. Meursault rejects this idea, and for the first time he shouts. For the first time he feels anger. For the first time he experiences intensity. But the irony is this feeling does not save him, because it comes too late. In prison, time slows. Meursault stops for the first time. He thinks, he remembers, but still he does not produce meaning. And he accepts this, the universe owes him nothing. When Meursault is sentenced to death, the true verdict is this: this man is not one of us. What matters is not what he did, but how he did it. Sometimes even what he did not do. Camus said this: the universe is meaningless, but humans choose how to live in the face of that meaningless. Meursault has made this choice, not to lie, and for society this is unforgivable. Execution is not punishment, it is an attempt to correct nonconformity. Society eliminates the body that refuses to produce meaning, but in his final moment, Meursault feels this: the world is indifferent, but it is not hostile. And this acceptance is the peak of Camus' absurd. When the novel ends, there is no answer, no relief, no justice. Only a question remains: if you were Meursault, would you cry the same honesty? Or would you cry a little, a little remorse, play a role? And perhaps the real question is this: how much do we lie just to stay alive? If this video stayed with you somewhere, if even a single sentence made you stop and think, if it made you feel that you are not alone. To keep these kinds of videos coming, liking the video, leaving your thoughts in the comments, and sharing it is enough for us to continue this journey together. If you don't want to miss these moments of confrontation, subscribe, because this place is for those who can't run away from themselves. If you are here, it means we are asking the same questions. You can also follow me on my social media accounts. Take very good care of yourself. See you.